Joining us is Representative Marcy Kaptur of Ohio. I know, Marcy, you're actually representing the 9th District, which is Northern Ohio, maybe not quite the Rust Belt, but still, steel is an important industry. I know that you have testified at the Commerce Department. You have been urging Secretary Ross to continue this investigation into what's going on with steel, particularly when it comes to illegal dumping. I presume you've done a lot of economic studies on why you think that this tariff, if it goes through, will be economically helpful to the constituents that you serve. Why is this a good thing?
Well, first of all, thank you very much. I congratulate Secretary Ross at the Department of Commerce and the President and his staff for being serious about America's growing trade deficit, where we have exported jobs and imported foreign product for a very long time, over a quarter century. Regions like my own have been heavily harmed by this very unreciprocal trade across the board, almost in every sector. Steel has been particularly hard hit. I represent Alcoa, U.S. Steel, Republic Steel, ArcelorMittal, major automotive companies, Fiat, Chrysler, General Motors, Ford. Ohio and Ontario up in Canada are really the nexus for a tremendous automotive and steel industry. And we have to have markets that are open and free. When markets become controlled or the United States becomes a dump market and jobs are wiped out and entire platforms are wiped out, we lose our defense industrial base. So I give them a lot of credit for being at the scrimmage line with this proposal. They're receiving input over the next several days. They didn't announce all the details, and I think those are to come. I sort of feel that they're at the scrimmage line and they're going to move the ball upfield.
We don't have very many details at all, in fact. We have no details. Nothing has actually gone through.
As nothing's gone through, people are overreacting, but I think the administration has been correct in saying, okay, now tell us what you like and what you don't like. I will say that the president's trade leaders, Bob Lighthizer, Gary Cohn, Peter Navarro, these individuals have a lot of experience in this market, and Wilbur Ross.
But Gary Cohn opposed it,
extraordinarily experienced in the steel.
Gary Cohn was
he
was a strong opponent of this, Gary Cohn.
But that's good, because there was, as with Franklin Roosevelt, right, many years ago, you have both pro and con in the room, and you try to find the best way forward. And so the ball has to be moved upfield. I have hundreds and hundreds of steel workers who've been pink slipped. I have plants that are shut down. And I also come from places that represent and manufacture America's Army tanks, the Abrams tank. We have Warren Tank Command right up here in Michigan. We cannot afford to lose the steel production platform of this country. So we have to find our way through the thicket and begin to rebuild critical industries, just as we've done with our automotive industry.
There are those who criticize this action as being a, quote, blunt instrument because it does not discriminate between types of steel imports or countries like Canada, which is the largest exporter of steel to the United States. Would you entertain the idea that maybe a more targeted set of actions against the real dumpers is what's needed here? Or are you comfortable with the idea that this is a blanket tariff that would go across all of the imports?
I think that it has to be a fair set of measures. They have to be intelligent and they have to be well thought through. We know that China manufactures 2,300 million metric tons of steel annually. The world market can only absorb 1,300. That means there's this tremendous oversupply, and really our people have taken the brunt of the beating.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.